What's up? Hey YouTube. So I am reading a new book. I know the last book that I was reading, which was Emotional Intelligence, I was on here reading some chapters to you guys just because I thought that book was extremely amazing. So now I'm reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. I don't know how many people know of this book, but I started to hear about it about probably like almost 4 months ago. So when you get in the life of trying to be an entrepreneur and kind of get out of the rat race is what they call it, a lot of people talk about this book. It's because it gives an understanding of how life can possibly be with you juggling what society is and how how they think that humans are supposed to live their everyday life when it comes to finances versus what they call, rich dad, poor dad, the rich ones, the way that they think, the way their mindsets are set up. And so this books give you basically a view of both sides. And so they, talk about, assets and liabilities and the difference between the two and how our minds are programmed to think in a certain way. And so you see I'm like basically done with the book. So I was like, oh man, I did want to read a part to you guys, but it's just been so good. I haven't had time to really stop. So this part that I'm reading right now in chapter 8 is actually good. And I wanted to come in and read this part to you guys to give y'all an understanding of what the book, what is it really about and the key points that they put in here that can like take you far on the way that your mind is set up when it comes to this type of stuff. So let's get started. Um, I'm gonna read just a couple pages. I don't want to be on here too long, but I do want to give you guys an idea of what's in the book. And so let's get started. So, that's exactly what the chapter is called, Getting Started. There is gold everywhere. Most people are not trained to use it. I wish I could say acquiring wealth was easy for me, but it wasn't. So, in response to the question, how do I start? I offer the thought process I go through on a day to day basis. It really is easy to find great deals. I promise you that. It's just like riding a bike. After a while, wobbling, it's a piece of cake. But when it comes to money, it takes determination to get through the wobbling. It's a personal thing. To find $1 million, deal of a lifetime, requires us to call on our financial genius. I believe that each of us have a financial genius within us. The problem is that our financial genius lies asleep, waiting to be called awoke. It lies asleep because our culture has educated us into believing that the love of money is the root of all evil. It had encouraged us to learn a profession so we can work for money, but failed to teach us how to have money work for us. It taught us not to worry about our financial future because our company or the government will take care of us when our working days are over. However, it is our children educated in the same school system who will end up paying for the absence of financial education. The message is still to work hard, earn money, and spend it. And when we run short, we can always borrow more. Unfortunately, 90% of the Western world subscribes to above dogma simply because it's easier to find a job and work for money. If you are not one of the masses, I offer you the following 10 steps to awake your financial genius. I simply offer you the steps I have personally followed. If you want to follow some of them, great. If you don't, make up your own. Your financial genius is smart enough to develop its own list. While in Peru, I asked a gold miner of 45 years how he was so confident about finding the gold mine. He replied, there is a gold mine everywhere. Most people are not trained to see it. And I would say, that is true. In real estate, I can go out in a day, come up with 4 to 5 great potential deals, while the average person will go out and find nothing, even looking in the same neighborhood. The reason is that they have not taken the time to develop their financial genius. I offer you the following 10 steps a a process to develop your God-given powers over which only you have control of. Okay, so I'll just read number one, and I think they'll give you guys kind of like a view of the book. Find it great. Find hold on, sorry. Find a reason greater than reality. The power of spirit. If you ask most people if they would like to be rich or financially free, they will say yes. But then reality sets in. The road seems too long with too many hills to climb. It's easier just to work for money and hand the excuse over to your broker. I once met a young woman who had dreams of swimming for the U.S. Olympics team. The reality was that she had to get up every morning at 4 o'clock to swim for 3 hours before going to school. She did not party with her friends on Saturday night. She had to study and keep her grades up, just like everyone else. When I asked her what fueled her superhuman ambition and sacrifice, she simply said, I do it for myself and the people I love. It's love that gets me over the hurdles and sacrifices. A reason or a purpose is a combination of wants and don't wants. When people ask me what my reason for wanting to be rich is, I tell them that it is a combination of deep emotional wants and don't wants. I will list a few. First, the don't wants, for they create the wants. I don't want to work all my life. I don't want my parents aspired for me, which was job security in a house in the suburbs. I don't like being an employee. I hate that my dad always missed my football games because he was so busy working on his career. I hated when my dad worked hard all his life and the government took most of what he worked for at his death. He could not even pass on what he worked so hard for when he died. The rich don't do that. They work hard and pass it on to their children. Now the wins, I want to be free to travel the world and live the lifestyle I love. I want to be young when I do this. I want to simply be free. I want control over my life and my time. I want money to work for me. Okay. So I hope that gave y'all a little something about the book. The book is good. I think I'm going to read it over again. Yeah, so check out my next video. On the next video, I actually am going to upload one of my live videos from Facebook. So on Facebook, when I be going live, I be like, dang, I wish I put that on YouTube. So you can like save the videos and upload them on here. So I just screen recorded it because I like that video a lot. So go ahead and listen to that or whatever. And I will talk to you guys later. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. Get to it. Love y'all. Bye-bye.